this if it's true?
Zinga, unfortunately, it is low. If you look at the economic climate, hasn't been in our favor. We've gone through drought, which we are recovering very well from. If you look at the maize as a crop, we've had a very, very good bumper crop, which has elevated us very, very nicely. In fact, it's been one of the elements that have been instrumental in getting us out of recession. If you also look at the export part of our business in terms of finished goods, we're not doing that well. And if you look at the commodities markets, most of the primary commodities that we're exporting to places like China, India are dependent really on economic activity, that side, which has been very, very depressed. So focusing into the third and the fourth quarter, we're looking at very, very good news. Indications from our members are that we are already seeing an upswing. Mm-hmm. And we are very positive that we will be able to regain our foothold.
Mm-hmm. With a depressed business confidence and a depressed economy like South Africa seeing just emerging out of a recession now, a technical recession, mm-hmm. There's a need to create, especially business to come step in, create employment, get the economy moving. What do you think needs to be done to do this and to get the South African economy moving perhaps at a quicker pace so we're not seeing growth of around 2%, but much higher numbers?
By and large, we have to concentrate on mass employment, factories, farms, and places like those, which really needs to be supported. As Chamber of Business, we're doing our bit to talk to government on most of the support that they are supposed to give from enterprise development programs as well as incentives that they are supposed to give them. We are very much a proponent of that as part of our policy advocacy. We also are talking to our social partners in terms of the organized labor to ensure that we provide a very conducive atmosphere for us to be able to trade, because as you will appreciate, any disruption that occurs in the market tends to dampen investor confidence. So there is a lot that we are doing. And we also are working with local governments and national government and to try and attract as much local as well as FDI as possible. We've just come back from the 10th International Chambers Congress in Sydney, and the message is very clear, right from the United Nations Secretary General, and he's really talking about us balancing the triple Ps, which is people, profit, as well as the planet. Mm-hmm. And as Chambers, we've adopted the 17 global goals for sustainable development. And chief among those are to avail employment in order to avoid poverty as much as possible. So if you look at the global development goals, they are talking to some of the triple challenge of poverty, unemployment, and inequality in as far as we're concerned. So there's a lot that we are doing as part of a partnership effort.
One of your mandates is also to make sure that the business environment in South Africa is positive, a constructive one. We've been seeing in the news business practices that are appearing to be unethical, there seems to be a culture. I think Azar Jameen was saying that there's a culture where people just feel they can do what they want. There will be no consequences and rules don't apply to big businesses. So is this a proper perception of the business community in South Africa, and what do you do to change that perception?
Unfortunately, it's a very sad development. With the recent events, I won't go into detail which are in the public media, but suffices to say maladministration and corruption can only serve to push us backwards in all our concerted effort to try and push and stimulate this economy. But what we are doing as an organization, we are bringing up the ethics code to our members in order to make sure that all of us subscribe to that code and we do our business as ethically sound as possible.
Okay, we're going to go to ESCOM. The Black Business Council has just said they're not happy with the change of leadership. Sean Moritz replacing Johnny Dladla. I think he was only in the position for 3 months. What's your view on what's happening there?
Look, our view is we need to give management adequate time for them to be able to put in their turnaround plans, and 3 months is certainly not long enough. However, we are of the view that there may be reasons. We actually are meeting ESCOM in about 2 weeks' time around this issue, so I wouldn't like to speculate. But moving forward on a generic basis, we believe managers and in particular CEOs need to be given sufficient time to see their turnaround plans in full implementation before they are replaced. But in this case, if the two are going to work hand in glove with each other to ensure that there is seamless transfer in terms of their mandate, then we will support it. But as I say, it's highly speculative at the moment. We will have a more definitive view as soon as we've spoken to ESCOM.
Earlier on, you said you're working with local and national government as Sacci. Tell us a little bit more about that and your event that's coming up.
We're working with local government because we believe they are closer to the populace. Most of our members, who are basically SMMEs and as well as medium-sized businesses, they operate at local level. These are manufacturers, these are producers, these are traders in their vein. And we believe in working hand in glove with local authorities to make sure that we smooth out their way of being able to trade without any hindrances as possible. At a provincial and national level, we believe we have to form that partnership to attract foreign direct investment, to open up opportunities for expansion of mainly our members who are basically corporates as much as possible, and also to stimulate that confidence so that we grow South Africa as a business in the international arena.
Stephen Ndlovu, thanks so much for your time on SABC News. Now, rural areas are key to economic growth in developing countries. That's according to the latest State of Food